place as we ride on board with Davide Rigon. The Liverpool car right ahead of him there, the rear wing just a few inches away really, but can he get alongside it? That's the question. He's running out of time in which to do so. The track flowing up and downhill, down towards that end corner. We're back with the leaders again though. It's Al Ain with Esteban Guerrieri, the Argentinian, who's making a tremendous debut in Super League Formula. Ho Pin Tung just losing out a bit, I think, on this lap.
Yes, probably lost 5 or 7 tenths. He's doing a very, very good job just now, Esteban Guerrieri, for his first ever race in the series.
2 laps to go then, basically, because now the clock goes to 0. They will still have to come around, cross the line, do 1 more lap. So we are really into the closing stages. But so far, so good for the Argentine driver. 24 years old and looking to really wrap up a victory on his debut, which is remarkable. A remarkable performance. Twice a pole sitter in the World Series last year, so he's proved his pace in big, powerful cars, no doubt about it. But to jump in one of these things and be so competitive in difficult conditions, that is remarkable. Back with the battle for third, still no change there. It's still Liverpool looking to win the weekend, remember, by just 1 point from Al Ain. That's the way things are likely to end. And don't forget, that's worth a lot of money, €100,000 on offer to the weekend's winner as a result of the 2 races, the points added together for the 2 races. 50 points going to the race winner and 45 to second and onwards. And you add the points from those 2 races together and you come out with a weekend winner. And at the moment, that looks to be going to Liverpool, but only by 1 point from Al Ain. Again, the 2 leaders are coming through that final chicane close together and they go on to their final lap.
Yes, last lap. And if Liverpool stays there, it's only with a few tenths of a second because Olympiacos is just behind him. As you can see, about 5 tenths of a second of a gap. So let's see on the last lap, but we know Adrian Valles is very well experienced. He's won many races in the series and he's doing well. 7/10, it's going to be hard for Olympiacos. Adrian Valles watching in his mirrors and he could always defend. It's hard to overtake around here as well.
Yeah, particularly when you've got still some little wet patches on the side of the circuit if you try and make a move. Here we are with the race leaders in their last lap, coming down to the short chicane. No problems through there. That's where we saw 2 cars in trouble. Corinthians a potential winner. AC Milan a definite podium finisher perhaps, but out of the race in very similar circumstances but different problems. And Al Ain through the Villeneuve chicane, safely through there, through the quick right-hander between the trees. And it looks as though it's going to be a remarkable debut performance by Esteban Guerrieri. Absolutely brilliant stuff.
Yes, and we can see just behind him, Ho Pin Tung pushing really hard. He knows there's only 1 corner left to try to make a move, but it's going to be too late.
Coming into the final chicane then, Al Ain still in control. Atletico de Madrid close, but not close enough. It's going to be victory for Al Ain, for Esteban Guerrieri. He crosses the line. 2nd place goes to Atletico de Madrid. What a debut by the young Argentine driver. 3rd place does belong to Liverpool, and Liverpool will win the weekend outright. 4th place goes to Olympiacos, Davide Rigon.
Awesome. I love it. I love it. Not bad for the beginning for us, eh? Thank you, boys. Thank you. Let's party tonight. Woohoo! Well done, mate. That was good. Well done. Nice. From the back of the grid to the front. That's excellent. Different conditions. Well done.
And there, Rob Creswell on the radio. We spoke about him briefly yesterday, Bruce. So he, as an engineer, coming into it as well. Let's get down to the pits for some reaction from the team with Warren.
Team manager Anthony Reid here. Anthony, that was great work. It's Esteban's first drive in the car and you got him a first place.
Yeah, Esteban's been a driver for Ultimate Motorsport for a few years in F3 and then he drove successfully for us in the World Series, winning the last race at Estoril last year, and he's our banker. We brought him here hoping that he would do a result. The weather conditions suit him, dry, bit of wet. He's very good at both conditions, so we're very pleased. Very good drive.
Well done, and so I think he's going to be 2nd on the podium, I've just heard, for the end of the day.
I hope so, and I say it's just nice to get him here. That's what we came for, to bring him over to get a good result, and fair dues to the guy who's done it for us, so very pleased.
Thank you, Anthony. Back to you guys, Ben.
Thanks, Warren. Yeah, well, a remarkable performance. They said that's what they wanted from him, but he delivered in style, didn't he? Esteban Guerrieri absolutely brilliant in tricky conditions and getting ahead of Atletico de Madrid. That passing manoeuvre, well timed, well executed, and it won in the race.
Yes, exactly. You have to make a move when you're sure about it, and when you start to make a move, it has to be in one go. He had one chance and he took it.
Yeah, brilliant stuff. Ho Pin Tung, got a feel for him because he looked as though he was going to win this race for Atletico de Madrid, but still they've had their best result ever, so a good effort by them.
Yes, very good job from Ho Pin Tung. Last year Atletico Madrid was close from winning, but it's this time. First podium.
There we go. There is the result of the second race of the day at Zolder. Alain take victory from Atletico de Madrid. Liverpool in third place. An excellent performance from Adrian Valiers once again, ahead of Olympiacos, AS Roma and Midtjylland. FC Porto finish in 7th place. Basel in 8th. Tottenham with the fastest lap but finished down in 9th place. And Lyon finished in 10th. There is the car of Alain then, and we'll get a chance in a little while to hear from the man himself, Esteban Guerrieri, another name to watch out for the future. That's the great thing about Super League Formula. It's introducing us to some exciting young talent, guys who really have ability and can prove it in these evenly matched, identical cars, all down to some clever setup work by the teams as well, and some good driving from that man in particular here today around this Zolder circuit. So, start of the celebrations, and of course we will see him on the outright podium as well for the entire weekend as a result of his 2 performances. So that really is surprising that he could have done that. Ho Pin Tung, well, mixed feelings, I'm sure. He'll be delighted to have got a 2nd place. He started on the front row of the grid, remember, Ho Pin Tung, because of the reverse grid from race 1. Had the lead for a long time, but ultimately had to settle for 2nd position. And 3rd place, there's the man who finished in 3rd place. It's Adrian Valiers, once again, scoring points consistently, staying out of trouble in those early laps, careful not to make any silly errors, and he receives a trophy for 3rd place. We'll be seeing more of Adrian Valiers when we get to the overall podium for the entire weekend. Helmet being peeled off there by Esteban Guerrieri. There is Rob Cresswell to congratulate him. These 2 guys, first time they've ever worked together, and they've delivered. Well, that's pretty impressive. And there is Ho Pin Tung. He receives his trophy for 2nd. Big smile on his face, and that's a great result. Top result for him. He will be very chuffed, I'm sure. But there's the guy that's taken the big one in this 2nd race of the day. And great to see him crash helmet off. We've never seen him before in Super League Formula, but what a way to make your debut.
Yes, first weekend, first win. That's very impressive. He drove well in both conditions. He finishes 2nd on the day's podium. So, very good job. I'm impressed. I didn't know him very well. I just heard of him, and very good job on a debut.
But isn't that what this championship's about in so many ways? You know, seeing you guys come along like this. We've seen it with others as well, like Craig Dolby. Look at him, absolutely pumped up is Esteban Guerrieri. It was worth the flight over from Argentina, and look at what it means.
Yes, I think he only drove top Team Tops cars this season so far.
Yeah,
so very good job, and delighted driver, and you can understand why.
Yeah, absolutely, great stuff. And Warren is down there amongst the throng, so we've got every chance. I think we're catching up with the drivers who've taken success. Down to Warren.
Thank you, Ben. Esteban, you've been absolutely mobbed down here. You look very happy.
Yeah, I'm pleased. I'm really happy. Well, because it was a long time not being in a single seater for me since last year, and I got this opportunity, and I wanted to take it in the best way as possible, and it worked out very good with the team that I know, which is Ultimate Motorsport, running my car, which is Alain, with a very good job.
And it's your debut in this series. Are you glad you came over?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I like the series. Nice, good level of drivers and everything.
And just one last thing, talk us through that pass you made into the first corner. It looked very tricky with the wet water, with the wet conditions.
Yeah, it was because I didn't have such a pace like I had before when it was getting drier. I started to suffer in some unders here, so I let the tires cool a little bit, like 3 or 4 laps, to then be able to attack. I had still all the push to pass for myself, so I just take it easy for some laps, and then when I went to attack, it worked out that I found some good laps, and then I used the push to pass, and it was there or never.
Esteban, well done. Enjoy your celebrations tonight.
Thank you.
Adrian, another 3rd place. You're the man of the day. You've won the day outright. How are you feeling?
Yeah, fantastic. This second race was great. We did a really good strategy.